So, what is it? Maybe 80 degrees out here? Amazing weather. But with that, we got quite a bit of rain last night. My rain gauge is not at 100% condition right now, but I had 2.5 inches in it. I'm thinking I had more than that though. But with that, what happens with our property is we got this goat and sheep fencing. And this is the problem with goat and sheep fencing. Anywhere where you have a lot of water runoff, it's a net. You know, some people call it goat and sheep netting. And it's literally a net for everything. And there's not. What it consists of is literally just decaying leaves, tiny bits of grass, and it catches all of it. There's not a lot of big sticks in here. There's a few, but there's nothing crazy. So we've got to do something different because we've been, what is this, like the fourth time we pulled it out this year. I poured diesel and burned this fence line to try to prevent the grass from growing up and catching this debris, and it's just not working. So I need to do some dirt work. That's not going to get done today, but it's almost like I need an excavator or a backhoe or something. So what needs to happen is, come over here and look at this. We've got this runaround to our pond, this overflow, and originally it was like that when we first moved in, where most of the water was going down to a spot where it could actually flow under the fence. But I think it was last year when we had a big flood. You can see the grass is a little thin right here. It scalped. It was right after that drought, and I think what happened is it scalped a lot of our topsoil right here. So now we're so low right here that the water comes around the pond and it's just hitting the fence very broadly. There's no exact channel cut to where it can just go under the fence. So what really needs to happen is we're going to have to cut a new ditch right here, and then we're going to have to bring some soil in and put us a little terrace at like a 45-degree angle back to the ditch. That's the problem. All the water wants to go out through here and it's destroying the fence. Cow turds in there too, of course. So this is supposed to be the water runoff control. As you can see, there's not hardly anything piled up in it like there was down the rest of the fence. So we've definitely got to do that dirt work I was talking about. And not only that, but I think to start managing the soil, just because there's a lot of runoff that comes from like back towards our house, because it's all sloped that direction. But I've got to get like some sort of a terrace that's going to manage that water and funnel it over this way as well. All right, so before I use this thing, I'm going to go ahead and try to find all these grease zerks on here and get it greased up. Alright, so Huxton is more eager to use this backhoe than I am. It's kind of a little different. It's not quite as safe as sitting inside this cab, so he's been up. What?
I don't know about that.
You don't know about that?
Yeah, it's easier.
It's easier?
Yes.
I don't know about that. But he's been after me to use it, so he's down here. We'll see what he can do. There's a runaround to our Augie. You're always right in the way, you know that? But anyways, there's a runaround, and it comes about right here, and then it starts coming this way and hits this fence. When we first moved in, it more or less went down there into that low spot and went under the fence for the most part. And that's what we're going to try to bring back. Is you can see the water is channeling to right here, but once it gets here, then it falls apart and it's kind of running right here, and it's crossing the fence between right over there and right down to there, and that's the problem. What do you think, Augie? Let me get that horsefly. Oh, I hate horseflies. Oh, got another one. You're all right, boy. All right, so what we're going to do, I think, is we're going to come in just right here. We're going to start opening this ditch up. Then we're going to move the tractor, and we're going to come at about a 45-degree angle and open the ditch up. And then once I get just past this little tree, and I've been wanting to use my thumb bucket to try to pull a tree, maybe this one will be the test. I got to find well, there's a dead tree right there. We'll try it on the dead tree. But anyways, the idea is to just get this opened up to where it starts to drain back to where it used to. Probably these small trees right here, roots pushed the dirt up, because it did used to run where it was supposed to. Let's get the camera set up. It's extremely hot, like 102. Is it hot?
Yes.
How hot? Very hot. All right, so clearly I need a little more practice, but I'm not trying to make a great big deep ditch. Just trying to clean it up so water flows without resistance. Probably gonna get just a tad deeper right there. But like I said, and this dirt right here, it ain't gonna do nothing but good being on this side. So I may kind of try to make a high ridge that kind of follows this to help funnel this water, kind of like a terrace.
I know what I'm gonna do.
But I thought that was pretty impressive.
I know.
Ripping out that big old root.
Yeah.
Was that pretty cool?
Yeah. When it rains and that's filled up, you know what I'm doing?
What?
Swimming in it.
It's not going to be a pond. Hopefully it runs off. If it's a pond, I didn't do my job. So, now you can see it. I just need to knock this out right here. Keep sloping it. Keep dragging the dirt out that way. Once I get to just past this tree, then I need to curve and go back this way. So, that was kind of fun. I'd a lot rather be doing it with this equipment than I would, you know, with a shovel on a 102-degree day. It is a very nice Saturday morning, and I'm going to try to get that ditch cut, get it finished, but I want to show you kind of my plans, one of my bigger projects for this backhoe, and it's really going to put it through its paces. And that's going to be to add some water volume to my pond. You know, I haven't been short on rain, but I'll show you how it's already kind of low. And in fact, not that long ago, we had a rain that flooded this pond. So later here in the summer, this pond loses quite a bit of water volume. It's not all that deep. So what I want to do is just raise the water level about 18 inches or so. And I think I can do that, especially now that I got that backhoe. So right here, you can see it's full, but it's not spilling full. And a lot of these trees are going to have to come out. Actually, I could use my backhoe to get those trees out that we cut into it and never got them out. But it's not spilling full. It's full, but not spilling. And what I want to do is probably about 2 foot from the pond dike, just up above this rock, down to the spillway. Where this tree is laying is actually right down the center of the spillway. And I want to come in here somewhere this side of this rock, and I want to build this pond dike up and around to here, and I want to put some rock in to keep this from washing out. I want to put some rock right here, maybe some cement and some rock, and I want to build this pond dike up just to increase. I mean, imagine all the way around this you have 1 foot deeper water. That's a lot of water. I think this pond's probably about 70 by 50. So, you know, imagine another 12 inches of water. It's going to take a lot longer to drain that pond in the summer. And sometimes this water basically gets undrinkable for the livestock if it gets hot enough and we don't have enough rain. So without further ado, Huxton has already figured out that what I'm fixing to do is run the backhoe. And here he comes. He's right up there in the green. He's coming. He ain't gonna miss out on this backhoe. He's gonna be my operator. Hey. Oh, that's a cow turd. Yeah. I thought you was rooting a hole. You're just rooting up that cow turd to get the bugs from underneath it. That's good, girl. We actually, on our pecan tree here, you can see down low where the llamas and goats have been eating. But we've got some healthy looking pecans. Typically in the past, the weevils have just absolutely destroyed my pecan crop, but guys, there are some nice ones on there. Hopefully, we can harvest some pecans this year. This is the old pecan it's not the biggest pecan tree, but it is an old pecan tree. We loved the fact that we had pecan trees. We have probably 15 or 20 pecan trees across here. Not all of them are mature. Probably only 3 or 4 of them could put on, but that's kind of where we got our name. So let's get on this backhoe.
What?
What are you doing? Good job. All right, about an hour of digging this morning. I've went back, reworked up here to try to make that grade a little more smooth into this deeper ditch I'm digging. So all in all, the machine's doing okay. It's a Chinese machine, but it's doing work. So, I mean, it'll go as deep as I want it to. It actually, I'm kind of a novice at operating this kind of stuff, so it's going a little deeper than I would actually like. So what I'm actually doing is going in, you seen with the front, with the bucket, and back dragging and trying to smooth this ditch out. I don't want it to be super channelized. I'd like it to be a nice smooth transition. And I'm trying to put most of the dirt on this side, because if I build up the soil along this side of the ditch, then it's going to help drain back into the ditch this direction as well. What I may end up doing is going to my dirt pile and trying to form a little bit of a terrace, you know, maybe 6 or 8 inches tall, nothing crazy, but just to help funnel this water. So I'm almost another hour of digging, and I'm gonna have this ditch cut all the way down to here. I've just got to, you can see, let's get down here. All right, you can see it used to run right here. But at some point, I think it was during the drought, we got really skimpy on ground cover, and then when we did get rain, I think it washed through right there. I don't know for sure that's when it happened, but it seems to me that's the most likely scenario. And this guy is just a pain in my butt. I think he thinks I'm gonna knock some limbs off, so he's waiting. Maybe I'll go break him a limb so he'll leave me alone. He also did this. I caught him chewing on this. So this is a very cheap seat, but I don't think it would be doing this if it wasn't for Augie the calf. It's why we can't have nice things. It's really hard to tell the depth on video. I understand that. Video does not really convey the amount of work that this thing is actually doing. But what I gotta make sure that I do is I don't just allow it to all dump out here and then find another spot to cut over. So I think I'm gonna move the tractor maybe 2 more times. And it really hurts my feelings to have to do this right here because this is such good grass. I mean, I just dug up a bunch of Korean Lespedeza right here. Really good grass, good for the animals, or legume, I should say. Good for the animals. The fescue's really good right here. Hopefully the fescue will return and just grow inside this ditch. You know, barring we get a drought next year, I think that should happen fine. So let's move this tractor at least 1 more time. I think I need to get to where the front tire is, so probably 2 more times. Okay, 2 hours. I was able to cut this ditch, and like I said, first time I've ever really ran a backhoe. Ran a mini excavator, but honestly I can't even remember which direction the controls were on it. So I've got a nice little rise in the dirt right here. I kind of wish I had a little more rise in the dirt right there, so I'm probably going to get a bucket of dirt, put it here, a bucket of dirt, put it there, maybe 3 buckets of dirt. A couple years ago, I dug dirt out of the pond, and I've got a big pile of dirt. What I'm going to do is, it's kind of compacted, so it's hard to get it with the loader. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bust it up with the backhoe and then get some scoops of it. But overall, I'm very pleased with this. I kind of accidentally filled it in here a little bit. That's why I've backed up here. Off camera, I'm going to go ahead and clean this spot up just a little bit. I don't know how much you could tell as far as depth goes, but you know, most of that ditch is a good 14 inches. So it ought to do pretty good for runoff. My overall expectations of this machine are met roughly. Most of my problems have to do with the seller. And like I said, this was from the daggone steer up there. Nosy little brat. But anyways, please like and subscribe to see more reviews on this, to see more hours put on this machine, more projects. We've got a septic leach line up here that we need to do sooner or later. Probably going to be in the dead of winter when we're not getting floods. It's probably when we're going to do that. And so we've got a million things we can do with this excavator or backhoe. There's some tree trimming. I'm going to use that claw to do tree trimming. So please like and subscribe, and catch us on the next video. We've got tons of homesteading content. Thanks.